Would you call out your wife's friend for disrespecting your kid at dinner? So let me ask you something. Am I the asshole here? Because my wife seems to think I am, and honestly, I need some outside perspective on this one. Here's what went down. My wife's friend was supposed to join us for fireworks tonight, but she just texted saying she's not coming. Why? Because apparently, I'm a nasty person who encourages our child to be rude and disrespectful. Yeah, that stung. My wife and I just had this whole argument about it, and she hit me with a line straight out of the Big Lebowski. She said, "You don't have to be wrong to be an asshole." Okay, fair point. But I still think her friend is the real problem here, not me. Let me back up and tell you the whole story. So, this friend of my wife's came over for dinner the other night. She's a teacher, and honestly, she complains about her job constantly. Every time we see her, it's the same thing. The parents are impossible, the administration doesn't support her, everyone has opinions on her curriculum, and the kids never listen. I'm giving you this context because it matters for what happened next. During dinner, she mentioned she was working on her lesson plan for February and Black History Month. She said she was putting together a fact sheet about Martin Luther King Jr. for her students. Our son, who is this huge Star Trek fan, gets really excited and says, "Oh, you should include the fact that Martin Luther King was a Star Trek fan." Now, here's where things got awkward. My wife's friend gives him this super patronizing look and says, in a most condescending tone, "Well, maybe he would have been if he'd still been alive when it aired." My son immediately responds, "No, he was alive. He used to watch it with his daughters." She doubles down and says, "He died before the show aired." I jumped in at this point and told her, "Actually, you're wrong. Our son is right." And oh man, she did not like that. She turned to me and said I was a perfect example of a parent who can't acknowledge when their child is wrong. That's when I said it. I told her, "No, you're a perfect example of a teacher who assumes she knows everything and can't connect with her students because you don't respect them." Yeah, the room got quiet real fast. My wife immediately forced everyone to change the subject, and we moved on through the rest of dinner. But here's the thing. After dessert, I couldn't let it go. I pulled up this video on YouTube where Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura on Star Trek, talks about meeting Martin Luther King and how he was a huge fan of the show. I showed it to everyone at the table. My wife's friend looked at me and said, "Why couldn't you just let the topic lie?" I told her, "Because I didn't want my son to feel like he was wrong for sharing facts he knows about his interests." She fired back with, "You don't know what it's like to be a teacher." And I said, "You're right, I don't. But I know you're a bad one." She asked how I could possibly know that without seeing her in the classroom. I said, "Because I see how you are in your daily life, and people are who they are regardless of where they are." That was pretty much the end of the evening. She left shortly after. Now, my wife is upset with me. She says I'm the asshole for bringing the topic back up after it was settled. She thinks I should have just shown our son the video after a friend left and used it as a teaching moment about giving people grace and not needing external validation. But I disagree. I think it's important that our kid knows we will always stand up for him, especially when someone talks down to him like that. So here I am, asking you, am I the asshole? Did I take it too far? Or was I right to defend my son in the moment? Let me know in the comments, because I genuinely need to know if I'm off base here.